Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Back in the Chicago area. All right, we're gonna have any folks joining us today? Ready to go for a little walk? We are at a really nice cemetery here. Hey Sherry, how's it going? I think you're first. KMR says, hi Sue. That means Serenity Sue must be here. Kimberly's here. How's it going, Kimberly? Amanda from Washington State. Cheryl Daggs is here with her hat. Irish eyes. Here they come. Dandelion, what's going on? Serenity. I'm glad you're here with us. Always from Ireland. The fearsome twosome, Irish Eyes and Serenity Sue are here in the house. B. Richardson, Joey Strobel's here. Joey's giving us some stories. Joey, you got to come up with another story. It's been a while. You got those good Northwest Illinois, Belvedere, Rockford area stuff. Floss is here. Flossie, what's going on? Nancy Volk, how's it going? Carlos Cruz, here they come. John Walker, you guys, what are you doing today? It's a beautiful day, but I left New York, I left Washington State, I left New York State, I left Pennsylvania because the weather was closing in. Wasn't able to get up there to the north like I want to get, but I got 7 episodes in. Joy Klassen, how you doing? Deb's here, Deb Dehan. Yeah, who else we got? Sharon Beggs, Sheila Myers, Becky Griggs, Chris W. Becky Demon? Is that your real last name? Okay. So yeah, guys, I had to cut the trip short. The weather was moving in. Also, I had to itch this time, been gone a lot to get back home after that southeast trip. But I got 7 episodes done. I'm going to hit Connecticut. I'm going to hit Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine. And I think I'm going to go in about a month and a half because I've got to go to California. I've got another something going on in California in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks that I'll be there doing a few things. LA, Santa Barbara, and then home for a little bit. And then I'm going to take a flight out there with my wife and make it a little tourist trip, and then I don't know, I'll get some good episodes in. There's one story I really want to do up there. So yeah, you guys enjoying the weather? If you're in the Midwest, you're getting good weather. You guys getting, I didn't check the weather this morning, but I thought somebody on Instagram told me that Pennsylvania was getting some bad weather, so probably good that I headed back, right? Tanya, $1, thank you. Very cool. Thanks, Tanya. All right, well, let's take a walk. We've got 262 people. I am in Wisconsin right now, and I'm at a cemetery. Have you guys ever heard of Lake Geneva? It's not Lake Geneva, Switzerland. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Beautiful lake, beautiful little town. Ruth is down there shopping. I dropped her off. She said she was going to give me a little time with you guys today because I was I've been away from home a lot, so we're having a beautiful time. We're gonna, after this, gonna grab some dinner maybe here somewhere, and then we got that, tonight we've got probably I'm really looking forward to tonight's episode. So glad you guys seem pumped for it. It's a story I've been wanting to do for well over a year, and I put a lot of love into this one. We've got some, well, let's just say I used a little creativity, a little artistic creativity. Hey, V Hinton, thank you for I think it's $5. I couldn't see, sorry. Yeah, Amanda, the Keller family. If anyone knows the story, great, but don't comment on it. It'll spoil it for everybody else. I had to delete some people because they were like telling the story. And I know you guys are excited, but I want to tell the story, my way. Very cool. Anyway, let's start a walk. Thanks, Norma, for the $5. So we're in Lake Geneva. We're at a cemetery called Oak Hill Cemetery, and I think you guys will really like it. It's got some neat mausoleums, and nothing on the agenda today. So I want to hear from you guys what you guys want to talk about. Brazil, Vanessa Silva, very cool. Where are you at in Brazil? It didn't sound like Rio. Boy, that's somewhere I want to go someday. Oh, but the travel's so restricted now, right? With all this crazy stuff still. Warren Kroom, $2, thanks. And Warren's had some good suggestions for us to do. Let's start out with, let's walk towards this mausoleum here. Amanda says, no spoilers. Hi, Ron. Just arrived back home, Boston Dawn. How's it going? Speaking of Boston, I'm going to hit Boston too. Lots to do in Pennsylvania. So yeah, hey Warren, thanks for the $5 adding on the pile. Had breakfast with Kimberly there with Ashley. Thanks Ashley for sneaking away to see us. But yeah, Pennsylvania, they were telling me all about. Laurel Hill, is it? Gotta see Laurel Hill. There's an explorer there that I'm very familiar with on the Grinnell expedition. I want to do his story. So this looks Irish, guys, right? Is that Irish? It says B, I think it's Bullesby. Is that second letter? All right, Irish Eyes and Serenity, is that a U? It looks like a V, but it's gotta be a U. Is that Irish, right? Mount Auburn in Boston, okay. We will take it under advisement. Can't see anything in this one, but they have some mini buttresses here. A little bit of Gothic revival, but nothing like the one we're going to see in a minute. Shannon, you're in the hospital? Sorry to hear that. Hopefully, it sounded like you had to get surgery. Are you okay now? Hopefully you're recovering. Glad it's over with. That's the best news. Nobody wants to go in surgery. I am in Oak Hill Cemetery in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And I have to clarify, it's not Lake Geneva, Switzerland. Hey, remembering Ella, Nita is here with us. Yeah, you love the architecture. Yeah, I'll talk about the architecture when I see it. Oak Hill in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. That is correct. Hi from Vermont. Oh man, I love Vermont. New England's so cool. That's why I gotta go back. Gotta see it. Gotta see it. See, check out this mausoleum we're seeing. This has some Gothic action going on. Hi from Belgium. What time is it in Belgium? Oh, it's not probably, I think you're like 5 hours ahead of us, right? So it's a nice evening time walk for you. Rhode Island. I'm coming to Rhode Island. Absolutely. Random Things 33. When I'm talking about probably, hey, thanks for the $5 Irish Eyes. I think when I come out, I'm going to hit all those states probably. And that will be, well, after my California, I got a week in California in April 5th, I think I'm going to be out there. So when I get back from that, we're going to arrange that trip, take Ruth with, my wife, and have a great little vacation and get a lot of episodes, but I can't overdo it. You know, we've got to do some of the, you know, because it gets boring. Especially, my wife's not into cemeteries. She loves to travel. She's big into hiking, adventure, awesome partner. And you know what? When I come to the cemetery, I like to, it's just the solace, I like it. But she would be welcome to come with, but not into it. This says Chapin, C-H-A-P-I-N. How about this for a Gothic? This looks like the churches in like Notre Dame, right? A little bit of that arch going. And what we see here is, this is more of a retaining wall. Yeah, the brickwork looks like granite, but it's got some really interesting coloration to it. We do have some very shallow buttresses. And again, the buttresses, most of these are decorative, but in the big churches, especially when you see the the flying, you know, the ones that come out, those are flying buttresses. Those actually have structural, they retain the wall's position from the stress from the roof coming down, like the arched roof inside the church, because the forces are pushing out laterally, and those equalize. They provide an equilibrium. Let's take a quick look here. Maybe we can see. Susanna, $10. Thank you. Looks like somebody's been around. Let's see. I think we can open it a little. Yeah, we can get a look in here. Oh, I can put the camera in. Let's see. How's that? You guys can look with me. Read the names. I'll reach way in there so you guys can read that. You probably can see it better than me. So that's Harold. And then we have Elizabeth. And at the top above her name it says at in Arctia Ago. Okay, we're going to need some help there. Can you guys read that? I still think that's Irish. Look at this. Look at that stained glass, isn't that beautiful? The inside is pretty clean. Now on this side, well, let's take a look here down below. There's somebody here. You guys see that? Boy, I better not drop my phone. That would not be good. Remember that episode of Forest Home on the Looper? That was taking a chance. All right, have a look at that. That looks like Virginia Chapin Fry. And can't tell what the first name is. Simon, I think. Or Seymour. And this is the last one, Patricia. So these are recent. That's the 2007. Let's take a look at the ceiling work. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, all marble in here. Looks beautiful, huh? Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, let's close this up. Let's leave it as we found it. There we go. That's better. All right, now I can read what you guys are saying again. Sorry, I couldn't see what you guys were chatting about. You got 513 people, man. That's really cool. So glad you are into this like me. Wolfman, thank you for the, I think it was $3. Thank you. Yeah, Linda, some beautiful molding there, huh? Yeah, I was definitely echoing. I didn't have my head in there. I just was speaking into the camera. Well, let's just take a quick look before we get into the cemetery. There's one more here. I think there's a couple more in the cemetery we can look at. This is more. You know, it's funny. I always think, oh, I want to go inside and see. And a lot of times it's almost a disappointment when you look inside, because there's just not much. Yeah, you can't see in this one. It's pretty dirty. Nobody's been around. Look at this obelisk. Mortimer. So there's a guy here in the cemetery. I couldn't find where he was located. I think his name was Gary. If you look on Find a Grave for Oak Hill Cemetery, Lake Geneva, there's two noted people. He's the inventor of Dungeons and Dragons. He died a while back, but his grave, the GPSs, whoever put it in, it's all wrong. It's like leads you out to the neighborhood, and then if you look at his mom, there's nothing. If you look at his dad, it has a GPS position in the middle of the cemetery. Went there, wrong. So man, if you're gonna put Find a Grave links in, please put like stand at the grave and then do the position. I always try to correct people when they do that. Let's see here. Wow, 1855 to 1916. So this is an old one. Rynette Thompson McCrae. I wonder who that was. Linda Brown says, sorry, but I give no way to you seem using some other way. Now that's the funniest, what does that mean? Sorry, I give, but have no way to you seem to be using some other way. Linda Brown, that is me totally confused. All right, let's go this way. Maybe you can re-enter that. I don't know if you were dictating. You're sounding like me when I dictate. Like when I dictate to Kimberly and the gang, they make fun of me because I don't proofread. I just like speak and send, and then I'm sad. I'm like, oh. But on Instagram, you can undelete. I'm famous for unsending and then resending like a minute later once I figure out what I was saying. Marianne, Pepe, you the man. Thank you. Hope you are enjoying the channel. I am having so much fun doing this with you guys. There's another obelisk up there. Doing good, Kristen. Thanks for asking. Gary died in 2008. Yeah, and he just has a groundstone. And hey, we might come across it. We're going to walk a big part of the cemetery. So you guys keep an eye out. I'll try to keep an eye out too. It looks, there's nothing distinctive about it, except there's a lot of stuff on it. So that's what I'll keep, like there were coins or some kind of, oh, you know what? There's some pictures on this obelisk. Look at that. Let's go check it out. I drove the cemetery, didn't walk it. So this is a little discovery. Yeah, there are pictures. Linda Brown, I meet that I would give 5 o'clock. I had to wait to get to you. Okay. Now it looks like somebody, like these were just put on here recently. Interesting. And if I were to guess, that looks like 1950s, 1960s. I don't know. I do not know. So this is Hackett. The Hackett. Now let's see, there looks like a few Hacketts here. You know, I'm betting that's for these two here. Cyber Lucy, 20 bucks. Very, very generous. Thank you. Yeah, Gray. No, it's Gary Gynex or Gygax or Gygax. Yeah, that's him. We're going to be looking for his grave as we walk here. I don't know where it is. All the GPS positions were way off. Unfortunately, wild goose chase. How's the picture, Diane? Good? I think I got 3 bars here, so we're looking good. So what do you guys think? So we got the episode tonight, and then I got 6 more. So I got to tell you, first time I was in upstate New York, and I loved it. Wow, it's beautiful there. Lake Cayuga, Cayuga? I think it's called Cayuga. One of those big, those Finger Lakes. So yeah, we hit Auburn, and then I hit a couple more episodes there in that area that I think you're gonna really like. And then from there, I went down to Philadelphia. That's where I met Ashley and Kimberly for breakfast. And I did a story there. And then I went to downtown New York and Long Island. And man, that's a commitment. If you wanna go to New York, you just better say, I'm moving real slow. Everything's gonna be, take your time, don't get too excited, don't be in a rush, because it is crowded. There are a lot of people in a small amount of space. Or I should say a whole lot of people in a large amount of space, pretty close. those together. Here's the Sears Mausoleum. This is not Richard Warren Sears. He's at Rose Hill, as Britton can tell you. I don't know if Britton's with us. Have you ever been to Sergeant York's grave? Yeah, that's an episode. If you just go on my channel and hit search this channel, just put York, and you will see we were there last year. We did an episode on Sergeant York when I did that trip down south. Karen, thanks. Doc Holliday, yeah, Doc Holliday, that was really a passion to do that episode. Well, that trilogy, I should say. Speaking of trilogies, if you hit my playlist, a couple of weeks ago, I put a playlist together with kind of all the topics from grave robbing, the Marilla. And by the way, the Marilla, if you guys haven't seen the Marilla episode, the grave robbing in St. Charles, the trilogy, we were like on a breadcrumb cookie trail putting a puzzle together, and then we finally found it, and you guys were doing it with me. It was so cool. And we actually hooked up with Barbara Churchill, and that was her maiden name, and we found her parents, and Barbara is a descendant, and Barbara gave me a picture of her sister. Anyway, I did an age regression rendering of her to come up with a picture of Marilla, and it turned out unbelievable of what Marilla probably looked like, because there's no pictures of her. Mid-1850s, I think it was 1850s. And, you know, and people say, you know, she had golden blonde hair, and I realized that, and luckily, you know, it's a black and white rendition. I don't know if you guys, many of you guys know this, but those pictures, those daguerreotypes and all of those pictures back then, the tintypes, people that had blonde hair, even very light sandy blonde hair, like Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, you know, we always think they have dark hair, black hair, but it's those pictures. That's just the way those pictures come out. So in true keeping with the history and what she would look like in a photo, I rendered it in that exact, look at this. I rendered it exactly that way. Is this a witch's broom? I swear I did not place this here. What do I do with this? What's respectful? Do I put it, I don't think I want to put this on. Maybe just not touch it. All right, guys, what's that? It's the first time I've ever seen that. Is that maybe from a fireplace? Look at that. I don't know. When I look at that, I'm like, it reminds me of like a witch's broom. Maybe. Is there any significance to this? You guys know? Don't touch, Vanessa. You know it. I'm not touching that. Thank you to both for the 20 bucks. Vanessa, listen to this, man. I got to tell you guys quick. Some of you guys know this story. But before I started this channel, I was at Bohemian National Cemetery, and I'm going back 20 years. And there was a Ouija board in the cemetery there. And I'm like, wow, look at that. And it's new. And it's by a grave, of course, somebody you know that was there at night. So I threw it in my trunk, and I'm like, I'm gonna take this home. Worst mistake I ever made. Because the very next day I got into a car accident. And then when the car got fixed, I was pulling out, and I got in another car accident that was worse. And then when that got out of the shop, literally out of the shop, I hit an intersection within a block, and I got T-boned, almost got killed. Got a helicopter here. So I burned that Ouija board. There's something to that, I gotta tell you. Don't mess with the powers, right? So I'm not touching that witch's broom. I wanted to grab it. No way with the board, Serenity says. That's right. HH, how you doing? Don't touch anything spiritual. I guess if it's a good spiritual thing, it's okay, right? I don't know. Just be safe. You know, my other story on that is, if you watch my story, Dominus, I did this story on the real exorcist story because I'm very connected to it, because my client was the Alexian brothers in St. Louis. You know, I'm a registered architect. I've got a firm, downtown firm, and they were a client. And when I met them, it was Penny. She was in charge of real estate. And we just started, we both liked history. She goes, you know what? And she told me, I was like, oh my God. She goes, yeah, we've got the archive room with the real stuff. Because the Exorcist story is all inflated. The head spinning around and all that, that's not real. But a lot of that stuff happened down in St. Louis. So she says, we have the archives. And she said, in the archives, we have relics from the room. I'm like, oh man, I want to see it. Please, please take me. Anyway, I explained some of this in the episode. It's called Dominus. I did this when I first started the channel. And we go in the room, and the one thing I remember are the glass windows from the room. The room had very high ceilings, and they saved the glass windows. And it was that old ripple glass, right? That old stuff from the 1800s. And then she said, she was telling me about Father Felix. Not father, it's brother Felix. They're Jesuit priests. Thank you, Bruce, for the $5. And she says, and there's the statue of Michael the Archangel. And there I look, as by the doors, this big statue of Michael the Archangel. And I went to touch it, and she said, don't touch it. And this is what I'm talking about. You can't touch that stuff. Because that was a good angel. And that angel, she said, protected the boy. It was a boy, not a girl, of course, if you know. And she said, just don't touch it. You just don't know. And I didn't touch it, thank God, because you don't know what you're going to carry out of there. There was other stuff I can tell you that I saw. Oh, sorry, Angelina. Okay, you know what? If I point it into the wind, so if I point it downwind, it would be this way. How's that? Anyway, a couple of lessons on not touching that stuff. It's absolutely true. Yeah, Irish, it's windy. You know what it's like. What are you gonna do? Deal with it. That's all we can do. It's live. That's why I don't use my I don't use a cell phone ever unless I'm doing live streams. Barbara Acklin has a headstone. Yeah, absolutely. That was a cool interview. It was fun to do. And the news anchor told me, she said, her name's Gaynor from WGN Channel 9. She told me that if it wasn't for us, Barbara Acklin right now would still be forgotten. And she did acknowledge that, and that made me feel really good. How many years? Of course, it was said that the family, her daughter and the son, they were already planning to give her, to get her the stone. But, I mean, how many years ago did she die? 20 some years, so I don't know. But I'm just happy that we were able to get the word out on her. Beautiful, just beautiful voice, and she needs to be remembered. I was very sad. And my cross is still there. Remember the little white cross I made in the garage? If you watch that, if you guys haven't seen it, you can go to my posts, hit community, and go to the posts, or you can just search on YouTube WGN Barbara Acklin, and you'll see, it's like a 15 or 10 minute segment on remembering her. And my cross that I made, I saw in the picture, because they went out to the cemetery. I did not go to the cemetery yet, but the cross is still there. Got a little breeze here. I think the breeze should be, how's it sound? Or I'm directly into the wind, so I'm gonna try to keep it this way so I don't get that wind noise. Hey John, glad you liked the channel. I always know you, John, because of that crazy picture of Jack Nicholson. And I don't know if you know, but I did use one of your questions for that sit down at the fireplace, man, so you better watch that. Bob from Edmonton says, perfect. Okay, sound is good. All right. Dana, hey there. How's Tennessee? You guys got better weather now? I've been pretty lucky with the weather on my trips, I gotta tell you, but I've kind of planned it. Not as windy as California. Man, when I was in California that time, it was ripping. I wanted to do something in San Francisco. I came from down there and it was literally 40-mile-per-hour winds. Could not do it. But Linda, I want to do that video of your son. We will do it. We will do it. Linda's son was taken young, guy's in prison. We're going to do that story. San Francisco's beautiful. I want to get to that cemetery in Coloma. I'll tell you though, doing stuff in LA is a big hassle. I've got nothing but grief. I tried to do a video there and they jump on you right away. No cameras. What are you doing? So I got asked to leave. And if you go to Holy Cross, like I was gonna do Evelyn Nesbit. Do you guys know Evelyn Nesbit, the story of Stanford White, Evelyn Nesbit? Ain't gonna happen, even if you pull your cell phone out quietly. I don't know, they got cameras in the trees. They will come for you. Whose grave are you looking for? I'm looking for the grave of Gary Gygax. He's the inventor of Dungeons and Dragons. And it's just a groundstone. I mean, it's a needle in a haystack, basically. Well, you'll be happy to know that I did drive all the way to the end, practically, of East Long Island to get the story. And that will be coming out in a couple of weeks, probably. Stanford White. Crazy story. Gilded Age. You know, I love the stories of the Victorian age, the Gilded Age. They're my favorite. Do you guys like those stories? Yeah, Evelyn Nesbit was very beautiful. You know, she just died. God, yo, man, Irish Eyes loves John Gotti. I know you've mentioned that. No, I'm sorry, I haven't been able to get to John Gotti. He's not a fascination for me, but if I get back there, I'll try to stop by to do a quickie for you. But I never really liked him. The Teflon Don. His daughter called him the last of the Mohicans. Well, he was the last. What happened to Evelyn Nesbit? She died in a nursing home or an old people's home in California. She was in her 80s. Yeah, Elliot Ness is on my list. I was going to try and do that on the way home when I was going through Cleveland on Route 80, but it was raining. So I will do the Elliot Ness story, and I will do it right. You know, a lot of people don't know that he was a self-promoter, but he really was part of the team, led the team that took Al Capone down, and a lot of other things. There's books out that say he didn't do crap, and he did. So we'll definitely tell Elliot Ness's story. John Gotti, okay, what's that? His son was knocked down and killed. Killed the guy, did it, was never seen again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try to stop. I'm just not into. I'm into the Chicago outfit history. Capone and Bugs Moran. You know, I did all those. Again, on the playlist, you can go and look at my playlist. I've got all the gangsters at Mount Carmel from Al Capone. One thing I didn't know that we stumbled across, the grave of Hop Toad. Do you guys know who Hop Toad is? He was with Ansel Lamy and another guy, you know, from the movie The Untouchables, when Al Capone takes a baseball bat to the traders in the conference room, bashes their head in, which the story's a little bit exaggerated. No way to really know if that really happened, but the Hop Toad was one of the guys found with them dead. They were taken out. And he has an amazing statue at Mount Carmel. Oh, like this giant granite. And I've got on a couple of episodes. Yeah, this is a big obelisk, guys. Let's see if I can get a better view. This is Crane. Richard Teller Crane. This is kind of the center point of the cemetery. And he, let's see, very hard to read. I did not bring the torch. Again, he died in 1912, so that tells you something. That tells you that this is very, very old. Eliza Prentice, wife of Richard T. Crane. She passed in 1902. So this is early 1800s birth. Boy, that's old. I can't, it just I want to go back to the Upper East Coast there, New England, see the oldest gravestones. I know Plymouth Rock, Plymouth. I've got, what's that guy's name? Oldest grave in America. We'll do that at some point. The Mayflower, John Smith, or one of those. Can't remember. Who was that? Miles Standish, isn't it? Am I right? I just remembered Miles Standish. Let's see if that's right. Hello, Kinnafly. What's going on? Is that how you pronounce it? Kinnafly? Glad you're taking time out to join us. Oh, we got the wind again. I can feel it. Miles Standish. That's right, Meredith. I've had him on my list for over a year. When I went to Vermont, I just couldn't get that far south fast enough to do that. I got to keep the camera pointed this way into the wind. James Bond says, Miles Standish. You guys, it's great. I can just ask a question and you guys know. What's the Italian called the sauce? It's gravy. Chef Boyardee, I don't know. Hello from Sweden. Hi, Rebecca. How you doing over there? It's evening in Sweden, Sunday night. Yeah, Boston, Massachusetts. There's a lot going on there. You like this cemetery? So we've got a comment from HH. Such a beautiful day there, here too, but taking training classes online. This is how I'm virtually enjoying the out of doors. Okay, cool. And Sue says, Holy Cross has miracle. Maiden, what Maiden? Oh, Malden. Malden Holy Cross has had miracles. Wait. They have a special place with the priest who has given miracles. Oh, email me that. That sounds interesting. I love that kind of stuff. Miracles. I want to find more good stories. Gosh, I'm trying to, I always got to sprinkle in a murder story here and there, but when it's with kids, I do it more for remembering them. And if the whole thing makes me mad, I want to like get justice. Speaking of getting justice, I put the little pieces together. Have you guys seen the Vicky? Now, I'm not telling you like go back and watch this video or that video, but Vicky Hoskinson in Tucson. And by the way, when I was out there, I was going to do Little Miss Nobody, but I couldn't. But I understand they found out who she is. And Vicky, I wanted to do that one because I was so mad that this killer is sitting in prison, having the good life, getting married, getting a college degree, smiling like a jack-o'-lantern. And I figured that article that I posted on the community, you know, the post that he's going to get put to death now, they ramped it up, was just a few months after our episode aired, which got a whole bunch of views. And I have to believe we may have influenced, and we may have helped influence that. That's what's cool about what we're doing, you know, in some of these cases. Like I know we're going to help move the ball a little bit with Roddy Edmonds. You guys seen that one? Already people are writing Congress people. It's so cool. Look at this stone. Gone home. That is beautiful. Looks like a bouquet of roses. It just says gone home. There's nothing else on here. Marble that's melting away. Thank you, Tanya, for the $3. Very, very generous, all of you. Money's going to gravestones. Update, you guys saw, I posted, Britain went to not Rose Hill, went to Bohemian National, and little Willie's gravestone foundation has been relocated. Should be in next week. Linda Ball, $5, thank you. So I'm gonna definitely run out there and do a episode on Little Willie from the Eastland disaster that we all bought his stone, and then Joe Reinholtz is in the work. So we got stuff going. I heard back from our friend, I can't remember her name now, standing here, who's in California, who's trying to track down the descendants of Janet. I think her name's Janet, one of the babes of Ingleside that's unmarked. We're gonna get her a gravestone. So good stuff in the works, guys. You guys should be proud. Luna, thanks for the $3. The little man's stone, right on. Me too. I can't wait to see it. And they did not want to do the picture. You know, the little oval picture. I'm like, we got to do the picture. They're like, the picture's really old. It's, you know, it's fuzzy. It's not a good picture. And I'm like, it's the only picture of him. He's got his little hat on, cute little face. I'm like, do the picture. I will pay whatever you know, we will, whatever. We got to have the oval. Got to have the oval picture on there. Lots of airplanes here. I think they're all flying over the lake. It's a noisy little place for for airplanes. Well, I should talk. I flew here a lot with my airplanes. But I am officially not flying anymore, you guys. I am done. In fact, I just sold my airplane last week to a company in Thailand. And they will probably fly it there at some point. My airplane's in Minnesota, Minneapolis area right now at a place called Whip Air, seaplane base. Well, it's an airport, but they're a seaplane company. And I'm kind of glad to be done with it. Dark Poet, $5, thank you. Shannon says she found out her cousin Christopher M was murdered by his girlfriend. They're doing a domestic violence vigil. We will keep in the prayers. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's a terrible story. Wow. Here's some crypts. Elizabeth Scotter and Fred. Wonder who they were. Died in 53 and she died in 32. Cheryl Daggs, did you check out my Bush Pilot Explorer channel? Thanks. Yeah, you know what's funny? You just never know. When I started that channel, right, and I've got stuff on that channel from the Arctic Circle, not the Arctic Circle, it's above the Arctic Circle, in the high Arctic. Thank you, Lorraine, for 10 bucks. And I've got so much cool stuff flying into the bush, polar bears, stories, all kinds of stories. And I had 10 cameras, like my late videos on the plane I just sold, I had 10 GoPros outside, inside the plane, and the episodes would take 40 hours to edit. And I've got a number of episodes, and I did some history stuff, like on Butch O'Hare, like if you're World War II. So I'm like, that channel has gone nowhere. I had that channel going for 2 years. It just shows you, like, I don't know. I thought that channel is way better than this channel. And I would spam, I gotta tell you, I'd get on Facebook and I would go to the cemetery groups. Thank you, Granny, for the $4. You know, the Facebook cemetery groups, and I don't want to say spam, but I would post my videos on there. Look, not this, no, I got that backwards. The cemetery channels, when I first started this channel, I would put my videos up on there, and that helped get me started. And then, you know, once this took off, I don't do that anymore, but I did that on seaplane groups and Facebook, and I worked so hard. I'm like, I think it's at 2,000 subscribers now, and I could really care less because the channel is static. It's completely static. Putting nothing into it, at least for now. Yeah, it's just like there. It's like my legacy for my boys. And that's why the book is being written too, which will come out probably in a year, about all my expeditions and crazy stories, including that TBM crash bailout. But anyway, my point is that, man, you can work so hard and there's just nothing you can do. If YouTube, you know, the audience is fickle. And if they like something, and it takes off. And if you think your stuff is good, it doesn't matter. Thanks, Mega Bad Girl, $5. It doesn't matter because it's just your channel's not growing. So I don't know I don't know why this channel has grown like it has, but I'm thrilled with it because it's a passion. It's a passion. Saw Miss Nobody ID. What a nice day it is. Wow, it is just gorgeous out here. Do you know about Arthur Dark? Yeah, Hollywood Cemeteries. I like that. All those channels, they've been around for years. And he's got a pretty good thing going. I think what's good about his channel is, you know, he's invented something that's probably all his idea, and kudos to him. Very cool. Tanya's got to charge her phone. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Come back. I'm in no rush. We're not going anywhere. Suzanne for the 10 bucks. Thank you. Dan, great channel. Thanks, Dan. It's very inspiring for me when you say that. Thank you. My Grammys. Hello, everyone. I tell good stories. Yeah, I am a storyteller. That's what my kids say. And my friends, they like to sit by the campfire and I'll tell stories, mostly ghost stories. You guys like ghost stories? I love telling ghost stories. I got a lot of ghost stories. Save that for Halloween. Oh, we got to come up for some content. Halloween will be here before you know it again. I don't think I'm going to be able to come up with the content I came up last Halloween. I think I had like 10 Halloween episodes. I just went off the rails. That was fun. Ashley likes the ghost stories. All right. Amy's fascinated by the people stories. Yeah, me too. But everybody loves the ghost stories. How about the Andy Griffith ghost story? They were by the bonfire. Do you guys like Andy Griffith? He's told the story of the hobo with the golden arm, or somebody with the golden arm, and then he scares the heck out of Barney. I love Andy Griffith. Who doesn't like Andy Griffith, right? Where are we going here? Have you been to the coast of the Carolinas? Yeah, a month and a half ago I was there. Who asked that? Was it Amanda? No. Burger Queen 23. Yeah, we did a whole bunch of episodes. Check out Magnolia Cemetery. I did an epic on the H.L. Hunley. We went to the museum too. Just search on the channel for Hunley, Hunley, and you'll find that video from South Carolina. I did a few things there. I didn't get into North Carolina. The weather again was kind of Rich Wright, 10 bucks. Thank you. Rich says, love this channel. So interesting and informative. Thank you. Yeah, I like to, you know, with these cemeteries are just history books. You know what's too bad? We have Find a Grave and we have stories and we have famous people. But, you know, as you walk here, there's so many stories we're just passing up that will never be told. They'll never be told. I don't know. Like, look at all these gravestones, guys. You know, this view right here down the hill reminds me of tonight's episode. Tonight's episode is probably my favorite that I've done so far, just about. Although the vampire one that I did in Vermont, at Woodstock, Vermont, man, that was Grandma, 5 bucks, thank you. Have I encountered any spirits? Yes, I have. Only once, and that was at the tomb of Richard Warren Sears in the mausoleum. The temperature within 60 seconds or 30 seconds went up from like 60 to 100. Let's see here, what else we got? Well, am I at Rose Hill? No, I'm actually at Oak Hill, which is in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And I'm kind of just zigzagging because it's not a big, I mean, it's a sizable cemetery. It's not massive, you know, where we can just like march along here. Although I think you guys probably like when we go slow because then you can see stones, right? Tracy, 2 bucks, thank you. Tracy Roth Myers. Hans Barris in for 10 bucks, thank you. But yeah, my favorite stories, which you'll see I do a lot of, is the Victorian age, the Gilded Age, the 20s, the Roaring 20s. And also mid-1800s stuff, just my favorite stuff. You know, a lot of it's not going to get a bunch of views, but I'm not here to get views. I'm here to do stuff I'm passionate about and build a community. That's number one. Tammy, 10 bucks, thank you. Very cool. She says, good luck. Gloria says, Gloria's got a note here. Let me pause here, see what she has to say. She says, it's how you tell the stories, Ron. That's why your channel's doing well. Makes it interesting. Oh, thank you. Like I said before, we got a comment a little while ago. It really inspires me. And that's what drives me. I mean, I would be going to these cemeteries, seeing these stones, but I wouldn't be bringing a camera along. No way. And doing all this editing stuff, but it's inspiring. It really fuels me to do this. You guys like this kind of stuff like me. I had no idea there are so many people out there like cemeteries. Thanks, Jules. Great storyteller. I do love to tell stories. Amanda says, how about if I sing a song that never ends and gets stuck in y'all's head? No thanks. We love you, Amanda, but we'll pass on that. I try not to sing. I have a terrible voice. But you know what? I can do Johnny Cash really good on karaoke. Maybe I'll do a song for you someday. Granny B speaks to spirits with her spirit box. So what is a spirit box? Can someone explain to me? Is that a detector that can tell electromagnetic energy? Or what is a spirit box? Because I'm very scientific now. I don't want the hocus pocus answer. Like when you unscrew the Phillips head screws in the back of the spirit box and you pull the battery out, like what's in there? Is it a little circuit board? What does it do? Come on. Yes, we do respect the dead. Ashley says like a radio frequency. Okay, so it's picking up electromagnet or is it picking up radio waves? What's it picking up? Do you guys know? EVPs in real time, I know, but scientifically, what is it picking up? Sounds like a radio, like where I'm turning the dial and it's going, you know, the old radios, is that what it is? Or no, I know you say it picks up spirit voices. Thanks, Teresa Hill, $5, but how? And I know it's okay, radio waves, tell me. White noise. White noise, that doesn't mean anything. White noise is background noise. I know what white noise is. We used to install white noise in office buildings. We used to do. There's a chance for global pandemic needs to be low. Okay, Linda Balls. What is that all about? Alyssa says electromagnetic heat. Okay, there's no such thing as electromagnetic heat. Electromagnetic is electricity waves, and heat is thermal. And there's thermal cameras and there's electromagnetic sensors. And electromagnetic sensors, magnetic field. Okay, that clarifies some. So it's picking up magnetic fields. But how is it picking up magnetic fields and then putting out words? Or how do you communicate with the spirit box? Do you just listen and then talk to the spirit and then the little needle moves around? Like, what does the spirit box do? Sherry doesn't believe. I'm with you. I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm just curious. I keep hearing people talk about spirit boxes. And let's go this way. But you know me, I'm into the science and I want to know. I know that it's, I know it's to speak to spirits. I know what it does, but I'm trying to like take, you know, when I was a kid, I would take things apart to find out how they work. Otherwise, it doesn't have any merit or legitimacy, in my opinion, because people can sell a bunch of stuff. I want to know how it works. So what's this? Ashley says, you ask a question and it'll scan through radio frequencies and hear some words. I guess that's what I'm asking, is how does it interpret certain, like how would they know? So I know you can program a device to say at a certain frequency it's the word jello, but how do they know? I'm like Houdini. I'm a debunker, and it's not that I don't believe, because Houdini believed, but he wanted to get to the reality of it. You guys know the Houdini story? You guys like the Houdini story? It uses radio waves to strengthen the bond between mortal world. No, I know that, Kristen. I know. My question is, how functionally does it work? Spirits speak at a certain frequency. Okay, I'd go with that, Ashley. But how does it know? How does it interpolate the words? Like, for example, if you're at 32.5 megahertz, how do they know that means the word Tiffany? You know, I'm just making stuff up here, but you like Houdini? Joe likes Houdini. I did do Harry Houdini's grave. We went there. Oh man, what a cemetery. That is spooky. So old Jewish cemetery, huge. I wasn't figuring for that. We got into the thick of under the dark mossy trees. Oh man, Houdini. When should I put that out? Do you guys want to see that one sooner or later? I bet you want to see Houdini sooner. Yeah, I told the Houdini story. I think it's pretty good. But the cinematography, you know, a lot of people, they ask me, what's your rig? Stabilizer, camera, like, what do you use? I got to tell you, it's very, very, very expensive. But I can't tell anybody because I spent a lot of money and time getting that whole setup for you guys so you can really take it in. I don't know if anybody has a better picture. Now, I'm not here. This is my cell phone. 2 Purple Heart Vietnam soldiers, 1968 murder in Pennsylvania. Email that. Says, if so, I won't email? Do email. Absolutely send it. Linda likes Houdini. Linda from San Francisco area. What's going on? Yeah, email me that story because when I go back to Pennsylvania, Mount Laurel is going to be my number one. I'm going to really hit that hard. Let's go up the hill here. Now these are the more modern. Gosh, there was a grave way back there. I wanted to show you guys. How far away is it? When I was driving through, it looked really cool. This looks like something really interesting up ahead by the woods. Let's go up there. Granny's a big Houdini fan. Isn't that a cool story? The whole Houdini story, him? And you should see his, if you Google, you can see the bust of, I got a really good close-ups of it. And there was nobody there. I was thinking there are people talking to Houdini. You know, they do the seance, the Houdini seance. Many people, they do the Houdini seance every Halloween. He died on Halloween. Can you believe that? How odd is that? Well, this is Kit. Kit looks like he was a biker. Looking pretty badass. Loving father and papa. Wow. 1947 to 2017. So he got a good piece of life out of this world. Yeah, that's right. Houdini would, Sherry, he would debunk those. He would debunk those people. That's kind of how I am. I'm a debunker. Now, I'm not saying spirit boxes are but I'm just kind of, I think I'm going to go investigate that because I'm curious. It's not as much to debunk, but at the same time, if it's foolhardy stuff, then I'm going to tell it like it is. But Houdini had some really interesting parts to his life story that we talked about. Some really intriguing stuff. Let's go to this boulder grave. Looks like a vet. Got to take time out for the vets. Mrs. Houdini gave up on hearing. Yeah, that was correct. 10 years. And that is the exact quote that I use in the episode. You got that right. Let's see, who was that wrote that? Redheaded Tsunami. Yeah. So don't give the story away, but that is right. Boy, they were very close. The one thing that, you know, this just goes to show you back then, he did debunk the famous seance makers. But the story on that is they had a secret word. I think it was Rosebud Believe. Redheaded Tsunami, what was the word? Rosebud Believe, I think, and that was their favorite movie or something. So this is Wilbert C. Wilkie, Will, passed in 1990. Now, I'm not sure. Why did I think he's a veteran? Because I think, well, I saw this. So what is this? It says, Daughters of Union Veterans of the Civil War, 1860. Now, we saw this, the Daughters of the Civil War, but the Confederates, this is Union. Do you remember the Doc Holliday 3? There was a big boulder monument for the Daughters of the Confederacy Civil War. Great history, guys. So hats off to Wilbert Wilkie, passed in 1990. Well, he was born in 37, so I'm thinking Korean War. If he is the veteran, or that could be for, let's see, that could be for this man, Hover Wilkie, and his wife Dora. Don't know who it's for, but he was born in 36, so, you know, a year, brothers, or Zora, is H-A-W-V-E-R. I've never heard of that name before. That's a man, right? Is that a man's name? It's got to be, right? Secret password. Roosevelt, yeah, not Rosebud, yeah, right. So here's the thing, and I tell it in the story. I don't want to give the whole story away, but of course, what do you think's going to happen? The people that want to trick her, what are they going to say? They're going to figure out, okay, what were they into? What were their favorite things, right? What were their pastimes? And it's like putting the puzzle, you know, reverse engineering. And someone came up with Rosabelle or whatever it is. So they were like, and it was just obvious, I guess. She was like, yeah, nice try. But it's just typical. People out for money, trick people. But I will say this, while we're talking about that, there are gifted people. I have met some of them. I'll say 2 of them. It's not like they're running around everywhere. That really do talk to the spirits, and it's for real. So I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, Rosebud is Citizen Kane. I know that. That's probably why that was the first, I don't know if I told you guys, but when I was a junior in high school, I was selected to a special class that did cinematography. It wasn't, you know, we were using Super 8. We were using, what was the bigger, 16 millimeter, and I was shooting film, and I was doing what was called kinesthesis, and making those stop frame animations. My first one was with, of course, World War II and Army guys. You know the little Army guys, the little green guys in the movie Toy Soldiers? What's the movie? You know, the little green Army guys. And I had them with tanks. I had them moving all around in a battle. And it turned out pretty good. And then I did an episode on a burglar. And now I'm a cartoonist. So I did what's called overlay, pin bar, and they're clear films, and you draw the picture and then you lay a film over it and you move the arm a little bit. That's like if you watch the original Walt Disney, they did everything on the clear cell. So I did that. And I made like a 20 or 30-second animation of a burglar robbing a house where everything he tried, he was bungling. And then at the very end, there was a picture on the wall that said, think. And he kept going by it, and he finally took the picture down, and that's where the safe was. Kind of cheesy, but it won the film festival. And I'm so mad. I would throw, you know, I'm in high school, I would throw all my stuff away. So where's the trophy? It's a little trophy. Threw it away. No memories of it. Very nice. Nice job, Ron. All my artwork, my mom would get so mad. I would draw ships, you know, those ships with the sails, the clipper ships, all that. Tear it up, throw it away. But I do have pictures of the hot rod dragsters. The dragsters. Remember the dragsters? Amy says, I went to an amazing spiritual reader. She was so good, I didn't even talk till the end. I'm telling you, it's something to it. Linda Ball, I don't think the spirit knows what frequency. I think it just answers your question. but I don't think they're, well, I get that, but here's where you got to connect the dots, Linda, right? Somebody designed that spirit box, and they said a certain frequency is going to put out a certain word. I mean, there's some correlation. And I guess the way you could test it is, you could get a frequency thing and mess with it and keep doing the same frequency to see if it says the same word. I was just curious stuff. It's just interesting. Tom W says, algorithms equals monies to pay for these videos. Yeah, that is true. Amanda says, so are the spirits up somewhere just waiting to talk to us. Yeah, well, they're everywhere, right? The energies. John says, sat in a local beer mate, cheers for bringing great streams. Oh, for sure. Thanks, bud. All right, let's go down this way. You guys want to go a little longer here? What do you say? I got nowhere to be. We brought Cody with, but not to the cemetery. Ruth has Cody. But I did bring Cody out here to sniff around out the window. No dogs allowed. Gosh, I wish cemeteries would allow dogs. I don't think it's disrespectful as long as you have a bag to clean up the poop. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But then it can take away from the serenity of the whole thing. You hear dogs barking, so that's no good. Amanda says keep going. Okay, Amanda, how's the weather up there? Oracles and Beyond loves the cemetery walks. Cool. Where's your merch store? It's on 6th Street and 42nd. New York. No, just kidding. There's a link under the description box on any episode, and you can scroll down and get it. We'll ship anywhere in the world. Jackie, happy with a twist acrylic pores plus, says, not even service dogs are allowed? I think they allow service dogs. I would say that would be an exception. Who said Windy City? Are we in the Windy City? Dogs pee. Yeah, dogs probably pee on graves. That's not good, right? All right, Tess, we'll keep going. Dogs should be able to sniff out those spirits. I love that. Hey, you know, your dog spins around. It could be a spirit grabbing its tail. Thanks, Derek. Glad you are a fan. Stick around. We got some good stuff. Speaking of dogs, there's a dog right over here barking away. Just beyond the fence line. But I do see a lot of people, when I was in New York, I saw people walking dogs in the cemetery. They had their little poop bags, so that's good. I did one story right downtown New York. Wait till you see this one. Really freaky. And I know you guys know the story, but I'm not gonna say what it is. That'll probably come out next week. Tommy the cat, what are you doing? Dogs are allowed in some of the cemeteries around here. There are signs everywhere saying pick up the poop. Well, it should be out. I like that. You're out east, right? Are you in Vermont, Tommy? Tommy is the one who told us about the vampire story. I'm gonna point the camera this way because we've got wind. This should be better. I know we're looking at the road. $5 from QUE. Thank you. In the Netherlands, the dogs are allowed. Cool. Man, I want to get to Europe so bad. We will be going to Europe. I don't know if I'm going to make it this summer. UK on the list, #1. Tommy the Cat's Rhode Island. Cool, man. What a cool area to live. I got to tell you, it's just so intriguing. When I hear Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, what am I missing besides Vermont? Man, that's like beautiful country up there. You know what's weird is I always thought upstate New York was like, when I hear upstate or up, it's like, I think north. But upstate New York is like not straight north of New York, it's west, maybe northwest. But I was like, I was in upstate New York, I'm like, I didn't even know it. Until somebody said that the Fingers Lake is upstate New York. Quick screw, $5, thank you. Vermont is sunny and 44. That's, wow, I was heading for Maine. I think it was snowing in Maine like today or yesterday. Is anybody from Maine here? Anybody from Maine? Calling out for Maine. Black Swamp, is your dog a Pomeranian? My dog's a black lab. I got 2 black labs. Hello from Kentucky, Larry. Jackson, Michigan. Oh, you're in Jackson? Oh, then you saw that buried alive one. Oh, this wind is so irritating. I'll point the camera this way. This wind's picking up again, guys. Ruth Tester's here. I just saw you. Have you been here? How are you feeling? I know you've been through a lot. I'm trusting you're getting better. You're on the mend? Are you on the mend? Let's walk up this way a little bit. I don't think we hit this section yet. Hi from Montana. Oh, Montana. Joni Brooks. I got some good stories there. At least 2 or 3. I'm going to be making that trip this summer. Almost for sure. Montana. Pea Ridge, Arkansas. 75 and sunny. Cool. So the Midwest is, the East Coast getting the bad weather right now. I haven't looked at radar. Are you guys getting the bad weather? We got William Hoover from Columbus, Ohio. Go Buckeyes. Are you guys watching the NCAAs? Are you guys watching the March Madness? Man, we are totally into it. That's Quicks for $4. Quicks Groove. Wow, I love that name. What a cool name. Man, my neck is getting sore because to read this, I have to tilt my head back because I need glasses and I got these progressives. So I got to look out the bottom of my glasses. Dylan, $5, thank you. I'm going to have a sore neck by the end of this. Amy has 5 dogs. Holy cow. Chile in New York. Yeah, that's why I cut out of there. Do you guys know that I drove 4,000 miles in 3.5 days? I'm a maniac. My wife said, you are a freaking maniac. I am. I've got a very comfortable truck and seat. I must drive 4,000 miles in like 4 days. But I'm very motivated to do these stories. I just want to, it's like an adventure. Rain in CNY. Is that New York City, CNY? Is that, what is CNY? I don't know the terms. Hello from the Ozarks. All right. Please, guys, help the man. He deserves it. Yeah, that is far. That is far. All right, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna do a little more, guys. We'll do a little more, just a little bit more. Anyone else from South Dakota? I got a really good story in South Dakota I'm gonna do. Scotland, Derek, what's going on? Let's go up these little stairs here. Oh, Central New York? Yeah, so I went through Central New York day before yesterday. You know, it's a beautiful state, Pennsylvania, to drive through. That was really pretty. Look at these stairs. We won't be walking up these. Won't be walking up those. Let's look at these. Geronimo's grave is in Oklahoma. Hey, did Reddy cover that one? I think Reddy did. He does all of those. Britton's here. Awesome. I see Linda Ball's comment. Hello, Britton. Britton, are you late? What you been doing today? Were you at Rose Hill again, fixing up? Kudos to Britton. Shout out to Britton. Speaking of shout outs, shout out to Alice, who's just joined us as our moderator. Al's very, very active on Facebook. A lot of great contributions there. Welcome aboard, along with Kimberly, Ashley, Debbie. Great crew. And let's see what we got up here. Allison, sorry you're late. No problem. And remember, you can watch this recorded. All right, see this mausoleum up here? We're going to end it there. So if you have any questions, get them in now, because we're at the end. We are at the end. I got to go pick up my wife, the dog, get some early dinner, and I got to get ready for tonight, because tonight is probably one of my favorite episodes about the Keller family and the tragedy Really cool story. Are you taking her to a nice dinner? No, we're not dressed up. We're just gonna go. We'll have a nice dinner, but nothing fancy. We'll pick something in downtown Lake Geneva, probably. Oh my gosh. Somebody's got a lot of emojis. I am Black Beauty. Thank you. Whoops. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. They had to delete your... You can't do all the emojis. YouTube doesn't like that. And it's kind of just distraction. That's why we don't allow that. Sorry about that. Love your enthusiasm though, Black Beauty. Stay around. Just less on the emojis. So yeah, hopefully see you guys tonight. So here's the deal. So we have the 8 p.m. tonight, right? So I'll see you guys there. And then this week coming up, we'll be doing the New York, upstate New York. Then next week, New York, Pennsylvania, all that in the next couple of weeks. Then we'll be back to some Chicago stuff. And I'm going to California. So thanks everybody for hanging out. This has been really fun. And everybody enjoy your week. I hope to see a lot of you guys tonight. All right.